Kakadosh Boker or Beki'im Bahalacha 6. This is Siman Kuf Samech 160, day 57, page 142, Halacha Kaf. Okay, Halacha 20. It says like this: what happens if someone touches the water? Can you now do Netilat Yadayim if somebody touches the water? If someone who has not performed Netilat Yadayim touches the water in a container, he does not disqualify the water. It may still be used for the mitzvah of Netilat Yadayim. If someone performs Netilat Yadayim, pouring the water into a basin, no one else can use that water again for Netilat Yadayim, right? So it's a pashut. Meaning, if I come and I touch the source of the water, again, we're not talking about that you didn't do Netilat Yadayim in the morning, because that's because of Tumah. We're talking about something else, right? So come, I just touch it. So that's fine. You could still continue doing Netilat Yadayim with that water. But if it's in the basin already, that they already used it, so then that's it. Look in the footnote 92. Mishabra explained that this water has been rendered tameim, being used for Netilat Yadayim. So even if someone would pour a revit on each hand, in which case the water does not become tameh, it's still disqualified since now it's called used water. The Achronim ruled that if someone wishes to wash his hands, right, exiting the washroom, he may scoop up water from the barrel in his hands and wash them in another place. In this way, the water remaining in the barrel still remains fit for Netilat Yadayim. The fact that he touched the water, right, does not come and disqualify everything else. So someone would dunk his hands into the barrel and rub them into the water and clean them. So he says he would disqualify the entire barrel as used water. This is so even if there is no real filth in the hands. Since he had touched his skin and is required according to the halachot to wash his hands, this is considered an act of washing the hands, making it used water. Okay, what about the water which drips from the hands into the barrel? So you did Netilat Yadayim, and now there's water that's dripping back into the barrel. So if someone washed his hands, whether performing Netilat Yadayim to eat bread or to cleanse his hands after using the restroom, and some water dripped from his hands into the barrel of the yet unused water, the water of the barrel is not disqualified. There's nothing wrong of using the water afterwards for Netilat Yadayim. The Ben Ish Chai ruled that if someone disqualified the water becomes mixed with a greater amount of kosher water, everything can be used. So basically, you do say bitul in the water. So if you've got disqualified water with not disqualified water, as long as the majority is not disqualified, it's okay. This is an example of bitul berov. This is halakha even if the entire davit is disqualified. Okay, fine. Halakha kaf aleph. What about water of a mikveh? The rule of used water applies only to water that has been drawn and placed in a container. If it then is going to be used, whether in the container or even afterwards, poured into a pool, it's disqualified. Once the water has been used, the status of drawn water, the concept of becoming used is applicable. Water in a mikveh or a mayan is not disqualified even if it's used by a person. For example, someone washed his dishes in the mikveh, or the water is still fit for the mitzvah, and someone may still fill a container and do Netilat Yadayim. So basically what we're saying is something, a chidush, which, again, meaning that somebody came into a mikveh. It's used. He just used the water. No. The halachot of used water only applies when I take it out from the source and now I'm going to use it. That it's going to be in a container. But as long as it wasn't like that and it's still going to be inside the mikveh, inside of the mayan, inside of the sea, inside whatever it is, there's no problem whatsoever of used waters. Used waters does not apply yet. Let's see the footnote. No, this is the next one, the swimming pool. So the water in a swimming pool, okay, may not be used for Netilat Yadayim, nor may someone immerse his hands in it as if it was a mikveh. So a swimming pool is not the same halachot as a mikveh. Let's see number 93. Maran and the Bet Yosef quotes a Rambam. The water becomes like sewage once it has been used and it's disqualified for the mitzvah Netilat Yadayim. For example, if someone washes his dishes or soaks his bread in the water that have been carried in a container, whether the water is now in a container or in a pit or in the ground, it's disqualified. This implies that the water of the halachot of used water applies only to water that has been in a container, but was never carried in a container, never becomes disqualified. What about a swimming pool? So he says like this, in Adara 5768, his dear friend Adam Azrak, he asked him whether it's permissible to use the private swimming pool for Netilat Yadayim. At that time, I replied to him that the water in the pool is disqualified since people bathe in it and they swim for exercise and fun, making it used water. At this time, I would like to present a full discussion of this issue with Hashem's help. So now he's going to go through the entire thing, right? Much more about Ichut, obviously. So let's see. So he starts, okay? First of all, the water is not disqualified because of the chlorine added to it, since no one mixes so much chlorine in the water that it becomes unsuitable for drinking. As long as the water is still potable, it remains fit for the use of the mitzvahs. Explained in Halacha 26. There are two issues that need to be clarified. Number one is whether a swimming pool, right, can be considered to be a mikveh. And number two, the second question is, assuming that it's not a mikveh, does the fact that people swim in it make it used? Okay, that's the second question. So let's start. Since a swimming pool is filled by running water through pipes or hoses, the water should be considered drawn water, and the pool should not be considered a mikveh. Above, it was explained that according to Rabbeinu Avraham bar David Ravad, one may perform the Netilat Yadayim by immersing his hands in a pool containing 40 seah drawn water, even though it's not a kosher mikveh. You remember that was a machlok between the Rambam and the Ravad. He says in practice, one may rely upon this opinion only when one has no other choice. Otherwise, we follow the opinion of the Rambam, that is, you cannot do it. It has to be a kosher mikveh. If the pool was filled by pouring dry water on the ground and allowing it to run along the ground and into the pool, however, even the Rambam agreed that it is possible to immerse the hands in the pool if it now contains at least 40 seah. Although such a pool may not be used as a mikveh for a person to immerse his entire body, to immerse new kitchen utensils, our sages were more lenient regarding the mitzvah of Netilat Yadayim. So basically, one way of doing it is don't put the hose directly in the pool. Put it outside of the pool, and then the water is passing by on top of the ground into the pool. When that happens, even though, again, it's not going to be a kosher mikveh, but it's not considered drawn water. So therefore, he says that it's still kosher for the Rambam to do Netilat Yadayim from such a swimming pool. The Rishon LeZion wrote the response to Rav Baruch ben Chaim, ruling that the water in a swimming pool, drawn water, is not possible for a married woman to use as a mikveh. Our sages instituted a rule that a pool filled with drawn water is disqualified as a mikveh, and no rabbi has the right to instruct women to use it as a mikveh under any circumstances. Since the swimming pool is filled with drawn water, only the Ravad would say that you could do Netilat Yadayim. If you have no other choice, you could actually rely upon him, but you don't make a bracha. The Piskei Teshuvot claimed that swimming pools have the status of drawn water that has been poured onto the ground and allowed to flow into the pool, which is called hamshacha. Therefore, he ruled that all poskim agree that one may immerse the hands in it for the mitzvah of Netilat Yadayim. However, though, this is difficult ruling since the fact that the most swimming pools are filled with genuine drawn water and not through hamshacha. So he says, even though the pipes have been attached permanently, right, to the ground, okay, 144, page 144, he says, still they have the status of kelim, and the water that runs through them becomes generally drawn water. Okay, so he says, actually, the Piskei Teshuvot disqualified swimming pools as a mikveh for immersing hands for a different reason. He contended that the pool cannot be considered a mikveh at all, since the water constantly runs through the filter system, and therefore has the status of flowing water. So it's like a flowing water because of the filter, meaning it's always flowing. So he says a mikveh, by definition, is a body of water that does not flow. So this argument was echoed by the Sefer Chidushei Batra, right, ala Mishnah. The Rishon LeZion and the response to Shamash Shmuel countered that the mikveh waters are not disqualified by the filter system through which they run. The filter system is a community mikveh is constructed in a fashion that does not qualify the mikveh waters as drawn water. It may be, however, that the filter system in an ordinary swimming pool would disqualify it, even if the pool has originally been filled in a manner that did not thus disqualify the water. Okay, fine. Used water. So he's going to come and he's going to say as follows. Once you have established that a swimming pool does not have the status for a mikveh for Netilat Yadayim, and it's not possible to perform the mitzvah by immersing one's hands into it, we can now turn to the second clarification. When people swim in a pool, does this disqualify the water because now it's considered used water? So he says, he's explaining the halacha here, the waters of a mikveh or a mayan cannot be disqualified as used waters. Drawn water, on the other hand, can be disqualified. Okay, the Olat Tamid brought down in the Mishabura explains specifically that even if the water becomes used only after it's in the pit, it is nevertheless disqualified since it had once been drawn into a container. The Ravad ruled that regarding the mitzvah Netilat Yadayim, a pool filled with 40 seah of drawn water has the status of a mikveh, and one can dip his hands into it. Does this mean that even if someone is going to come and he uses the water, it's not disqualified as used water? So the same question applies to a pool filled with 40 seah. If the water was poured on the ground and allowed to flow into the pool, all the poskim agreed that this pool has the status of a mikveh regarding Netilat Yadayim, and one may immerse the hands into it. Does this mean that the poskim agree that the water in this pool remains fit for mitzvah, even if somebody else already takes it out with a container? He says these questions were raised in the Sefer Birkot Shamayim. He likewise noted that it is impossible to infer any clue to the issue from the words of the Shulchan Aruch, since in one place they imply one thing, but later on they imply the exact opposite. So you can't bring a proof from the Shulchan Aruch. The Piskei Teshuvot cited above apparently assumed the lenient position in both questions. Once the waters are considered a mikveh regarding Netilat Yadayim, they're not disqualified even if they're used afterwards. So therefore he brings down the Sefer of Sharei Bracha. The Aruch HaShulchan concurred with this, since he stated that the Rambam would say that if there's going to be a pool filled with 40 seah of drawn water, and someone used the water in it, the water is disqualified, since the Rambam said that one may not immerse his hands into this pool for Netilat Yadayim. So we can deduce from this that according to the Rabbeinu Avraham ben David, the water would not become disqualified even if somebody else used it. The Nuduvar no Rebbe, Rav Mordechai Chaim Rosenbaum, he comes and he said, like the Ravad, that one may immerse his hands in the pool, the water does not become disqualified for Netilat Yadayim, even if somebody uses the pool afterwards, right? He added that all poskim agree that the water remains fit for the mitzvah even after if it's used, since they all agree that people may immerse their hands in the pool. So according to this, we can interpret the words of the Shulchan Aruch stating that if the drawn water was poured into a pit in the ground, it's disqualified as only a pit containing less than 40 seah. But if it does contain 40 seah, it assumes the status of a mikveh regarding Netilat Yadayim, and therefore it's not going to become disqualified. Well, you have to be from the beginning of the shiur in order to actually hear what we're doing. Nevertheless, it may be that although the Shulchan Aruch ruled that the water in a genuine mikveh or mayan cannot be disqualified for Netilat Yadayim even if it is used, the water in a quasi mikveh, such as the one that's described over here, is disqualified if used. In fact, this appears to be the understanding of the Levush. His words apply that if someone filled the pit with 40 seah drawn water and then he used it, whether he had poured the water directly into the pit or if he poured it onto the ground and then it flowed into the pit, the water is disqualified for the mitzvah. The logic for this distinction, he says, was explained in the Benetzion Lichtman. If someone draws water and uses it afterwards, he has demonstrated he no longer considers the water to have any value to him. If then assumes the status of sewage. This is so even if he had poured the water into another pit. If he'd never drawn the water at all, so even if he used it, it doesn't affect it. Okay, so the Tilal David ruled that if a pool is filled with 40 sav drawn water, whether the water had been poured directly into the pit or it's going to be poured on the ground and then goes into the pit, right? He says if someone uses it, it's now disqualified. One can either immerse the hands into it or could fill up another container in it. This seems likewise the opinion of the Kafchim Sofer, the Kishush Torodano. So according to this, if people swam in a pool, all the water is now considered used water, and therefore it's going to be disqualified for Netilat Yadayim. It makes no difference whether the water is truly drawn water, if it's drawn water that was allowed to flow along to the ground before reaching the pool. If someone has no other water available, however, he should fill a container with this, right, to form Netilat Yadayim, but he must not recite the bracha. In this case, he's going to come and wrap his hands while eating, right, his bread. So conclusion, okay, 1 minute. So he says, in conclusion, the waters of a swimming pool, right, are considered drawn water. If no one has yet swum in the pool, it's possible to immerse the hands into the Netilat Yadayim according to the Ravad, but not according to the Rambam, if you remember. What's long?
Swimming pool. I swam in it 2 weeks ago.
No, the second you swam in it once, Kaddish. And one may rely on his opinion whether one has a choice or not, but he must not say the bracha of Netilat Yadayim. If the pool was filled by pouring water onto the ground and then it went into the pool, all poskim agree that you could do Netilat Yadayim in it, but if it's equipped with a filter system, then in any case you must not say the bracha. Because again, because of the filter system, it's considered moving water. And we said that a mikveh cannot be moving. That's the definition of a mikveh. It is preferable to fill a container with water from the pool, and then you do Netilat Yadayim in a proper manner. If people have swum in the pool, however, then there's good reason to suspect that all the water became used water, and then it's disqualified for the mitzvah of Netilat Yadayim. In this case, one may neither immerse the hands in it or fill up a bucket, a container, and use it. If no other water is available, though, he could fill up a container and use that water for Netilat Yadayim, but he does not say the beracha.